In this video, I'm going to give you an in-depth explanation of the stealth mechanics in Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. By the end of this video, you will know how to equip and maneuver yourself so that you can easily slip into and out of any area without being noticed, or even kill large groups of enemies completely from the shadows without ever risking Henry's life. When it comes to stealth, or the art of going unnoticed, there are three important stats to pay attention to: conspicuousness, noise, and visibility. All three of these stats can range anywhere from 0 to 100, and the closer to 0 they are, the better. Conspicuousness determines how much you stand out and how quickly you are recognized. In terms of game mechanics, being less conspicuous means that even when you become visible to someone, you will have a longer amount of time to get out of sight before they actually take notice of you and begin to take action against you. Think of it like camouflage. You might be able to see something that's camouflaged, but you won't notice it right away because it blends in. So if you're wanted in a town and your conspicuousness is low enough, you might be able to walk right in front of a guard without them trying to detain you. Just don't linger for too long. Or if you've broken into a house and someone walks into the room, you might have a couple of seconds to hide before they notice you so they don't start sounding the alarm. Wearing things like fine clothes or plate armor generally makes you much more conspicuous. However, the conspicuousness stat is derived from your outer clothing, so you can cover up your armor to help with this. Here you can see I'm wearing plate armor, and my conspicuousness is at 67, which isn't great. By simply putting on this hunting coat, it drops down by 27, which is pretty good, especially for the high defense it allows me to retain. Now I'm going to give you a quick example of conspicuousness at work. You can see here that the guard's not noticing us even though we're right there. The rabbit with the yellow ears means he's starting to notice us. But because our conspicuousness is low, we're able to get away from him without being noticed. However, if we switch to this outfit right here, where we are quite conspicuous at 89, they're going to notice us right away. As soon as they can see us, they should recognize us. So there you can see that they instantly recognized me. There was no rabbit with yellow ears. There was no chance for me to back away before they recognized me. It was just instant recognition. So I hope that that helps you to understand what conspicuousness does for you. Next, we have noise, which is simply how loud you are when you're moving. Not much to explain here. As far as the stat goes, just keep it low and you're good to go. However, it should be mentioned that other noises besides your movement can give you away, like the pop of a crossbow firing, the clink of a lockpick breaking, the rustling of brush as you move through it, or even the squeak of doors when opening them, so be aware of all that. The following are some perks you can take to mitigate the noise you make beyond your normal movements. First, we have Silent Fiddler, which is a thievery perk that dampens the sound made by lockpicks. Next, we have Bushman, which is a stealth perk that reduces the noise you make by 50% when moving through bushes. Next, we have Weasel Boy, which is a stealth perk that reduces the noise you make by 35% when sneaking outdoors. And last, we have Rodent, which reduces the noise you make by 25% when moving indoors and makes door opening only half as loud. Rodent and Weasel Boy are mutually exclusive perks, so you'll have to choose between them. I have been using the Rodent perk and have been quite successful in sneaking through houses and castles with it. I think it's the better choice of the two. Let me know if you agree in the comments section. And for a quick example of noise, you can see here our noises at 19. Pretty good. Alright, and you can see here that we can move around behind the guard without him taking notice at 19 noise. However, if we switch suits, we're at 100 noise. And you can see that he notices us. Last, we have visibility, which is the distance at which others will notice you. The lower your visibility, the closer you can be to someone without being seen. Light, of course, plays a big role here, as does line of sight. Even with a low visibility, you will be easily spotted if you're out in the open at midday. but if you stick to the shadows or hide in the bushes, you aren't likely to be seen, especially at night. And you can always just sneak up behind somebody to ensure that you aren't seen, since they don't have line of sight on you. As with conspicuousness, your visibility is mostly determined by your outer clothing. Wearing gaudy reds and yellows or shiny metal tend to make you easier to see. As you can see here, we have a pretty high visibility at 81, but if we make the right clothing changes, this will drop considerably. Alright, putting on a darker hat, that gives us a nice 5-point drop. A simple dark hood is going to give us an additional, what was that, 16-point drop? 18-point drop. Okay, then taking off this gaudy coat and putting on an embroidered shirt is going to drop that 29 points. Okay, huge difference there. If we take off our jewelry, we get a couple more points. If we change over here to some riding gloves, we get a little bit more. And we even get another point from the spurs, or 2 points actually. So as you can see, just wearing the right clothing makes a huge difference. Make sure that you're checking the visibility stats, and you'll be able to go unseen without a problem. Now, there are a couple of other things to mention here, such as smell. If you go long enough without a bath, or if you just have to do a quest where you're shoveling shit, which sometimes happens, you get this reeky debuff, which means you stink, and people will be able to smell you even if they cannot see you. As you can see, sneaking up behind this guard, he should not be able to see or hear us. But phew, what a stink. I hope it's not me. So he can smell us. He knows that there's something here.
Oh, what a stink. I hope it's not me.
And you'll see there that he starts searching and he finds us. And notice our noise and visibility were low enough that he definitely would not have normally spotted us. So yeah, just be aware of that. And be sure to take at least a trough bath before your next big heist. And the last thing that I want to touch on here is that increasing your stealth skill will reduce the noise that you make while you are sneaking and make it harder for enemies to see and detect you. Alright, so you want to increase your stealth skill as much as possible, as soon as possible, if you plan on stealthing around. And you can do that by following guards or people around in town and sneaking behind them, but it's actually much less dangerous if you find a group of people on the road like this and just sneak around behind them. Just throw on the best gear that you have, which early on is going to be crap, but just try to keep your visibility as low as possible while keeping your noise low. You can see here we're pretty low on those two fronts. And then all you got to do is just sneak around behind them. As long as you're moving, you'll be gaining experience. Go back and forth. Whenever they move, zigzag towards them. And whenever they're stopped like this, just go horizontal, back and forth. And in probably 15 or 20 minutes, you'll gain up, 7, 8, 10 levels. And all you got to do is just follow close behind them and zigzag. And if you do that, you'll see that very quickly you gain up a bunch of stealth and agility quite easily while you're still very early in the game. Now, for slaughtering that large group of enemies that I promised you, once you've mastered stealth and you have a low visibility and noise stats, let me show you that. You'll obviously want a ranged weapon for this. I suggest using a combination of crossbow and regular bow. Crossbow for your first shot, and then regular bow because it reloads so much quicker. If they are heavily armored, then you probably want piercing arrows and bolts. Otherwise, wounding is what I would use. Just make sure that you've got the low noise, visibility, conspicuousness like we have here. You can poison your arrows, which is very helpful. Dull Maker's Poison is definitely the way to go, in my opinion. And before you start, anytime you're battling enemies in the dark, I would definitely suggest that you drink a Nighthawk potion. Anyone will do, just so that you can see better. They can also be quite helpful when you're in dark tunnels and whatnot. Anyways, you just want to stay away from the light. Try to stick to the bushes. fire your crossbow bolt, then switch to your regular bow. And as long as you stay out over here, they should not see you. See, I'm in the bushes. I'm out of the way of their light. And to slow them all down, I want to try to hit each one at least once. If they start getting too close like this guy, then I'll hit them multiple times. But yeah, this is a really easy, effective way. You can see they still can't see me because I'm staying out of the range of their light and sticking to the bushes whenever I have to. And they just have no idea where I'm at. Then you just come back over here and clean up any that might be left. I think that was all of them, actually. But yeah, quick, easy. Archers with poison are definitely OP as hell in this game, as long as you've got your stealth skill up high and you have your conspicuousness, visibility, and noise stats down low. Anyways, let me know if this helped you out. Be sure to leave a like and a sub, and stay tuned for more Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 content. This has been Chris with Lorespire. Be well, my friends.